Good, there's no echo and we have sound and video.
That's
Oh,
great.
great.
I've been practicing.
Yay. Oh,
There's probably nobody online yet. That's.
As of now, there's nobody. I'll try to keep an eye on it.
Mhm. We already have attendance, it's huge today.
Yeah, I'm sorry about
You threw her back out?
Dawn. I don't know if you did something to her back.
some to her back, yeah.
I should. Call the meeting to order at 6:05.
Motion to accept the meeting minutes for August 6th.
A second. All in favor?
Anything new in the permit review? A permit log?
Just put that up. The last one we had talked about was a 20 by 20 deck on, 20 by 20 deck, Don Crosby.
Yep.
That's the new one.
So what is that?
It's a deck, it's just an addition to the existing deck.
Street address?
What's that?
494 Jewett Hill.
The deck itself is actually 10 by 20.
This is 20 by 20 on here. Want me to
Oh,
say
yeah,
that?
no, there's a roof.
Leave it.
There's a roof on the front side of it, so it's a little confusing without seeing a picture.
Yeah.
The deck part is only 10 by 20 though. It's got a lean-to roof on the front of it.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think we have a party at his house. In the meeting.
Oh, yeah. It's all for the dog anyways.
So I do see an error in the minutes in the agenda for today. Under what needs updating, that paragraph should look the same as the one under the August 6th meeting minutes. So junkyard nuisance, underneath that should be the bullets of cluster housing, housing minimum lot size, subdivision ordinance for housing legislation compliance. I'll just make sure that's in this bucket. And comprehensive plan are just what needs updating.
Say that again, cluster.
So we have cluster housing, housing and minimum lot size, and subdivision ordinances all need to be reviewed for housing legislation
Right.
compliance. It's on the minutes of the last meeting, but that should have been on the agenda for this one.
Okay. Did everybody get their postcards?
I did.
I haven't checked my mail. I think it timed today.
Well, pretty cool. I just checked again that all the things worked.
I did too. I didn't have any issues.
I have not seen mine.
So if we had 8 to 10 people who had responded as of
Good.
today, hopefully we'll start to get more people.
Yeah, we have 10 responses as of today.
All right. Well, I sent out last week 50 emails with that, your poster kind of link in it that had
Yeah,
that stuff in it that went to 50 different people who did comment that they've seen it.
Yeah.
I'm like, great, fill it out.
okay.
So we'll see.
Start putting up reminders, right?
Yep.
Maybe, oh, I don't know. Are we jumping to comp plan? Is that what we're gonna do?
Well, I would like
Probably
to,
going out over here.
I would like to suggest that we set a separate working session date for going through the solar ordinance feedback, the cemetery ordinance feedback. Because that's gonna be a lot of wordsmithing. I just feel like that's something we can just do as a separate meeting and sit here and do it as a. Large group.
What are you planning on? I'm sorry.
So everybody got a copy of should have gotten a copy from Kathy of both the solar ordinance
Mhm.
that now has feedback
Yeah, I saw some markups.
from legal and the
From legal.
cemetery ordinance feedback from the select board. So I just think we should have a working session to go through and wordsmith these pieces in more detail and review like what the alert is
Yeah,
today
I
on the
took a look at it this afternoon.
Yeah, and I didn't see, Kathy was reading something sounded like it was the town's attorney comments, but I don't see that. Wait a minute. Oh, there it is. Okay,
So you're
there's the-
suggesting a working session?
I think so.
Okay,
That's okay.
that's fine.
I feel like we're on a time deadline for the comp plan at this point, and these things, nothing's gonna happen with this until town meeting.
Yeah.
Unless we push something else, but. So I make a motion.
I would rather have townsfolk come to the comp plan sessions than come to a special meeting about ordinances.
I
We're
agree.
gonna ask them to give us their time.
I agree. So I'm gonna make a motion that we set these aside for a special working session and we'll figure out a date for that.
Okay.
And then we can wordsmith to our heart's content. And that's the solar and cemetery. So I made a motion. Does anybody want to second that?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
I'm trying to remember what feedback we got last week on the planning board and sewer. I don't think we got anything. I think maybe those went to legal. Do you know that for sure?
The sewer one,
Sewer and planning board.
planning board, they should have sent me some notes on that one too. I don't think we just that, so
All we got was cemetery and solar.
I think the planning board one was good to go, but I want to say yes on it.
So good to go in what way?
I think they agreed with most of the content.
Right, does that mean it's going to go to legal review or it doesn't need legal review and it's gonna go on the next town meeting warrant?
Because we did make some changes on that one. And I
Well,
had
mostly that was to accommodate our
alternate,
alternate.
yeah, that was most of it.
yeah.
Yeah, we only got the cemetery ordinance. And then today, when you asked for it, we got the solar ordinance.
Right, okay, so I'll keep this on your planning board and sewer ordinance status with a question mark. If
Yeah.
you can find out where that stands, that'd be great.
Good.
Appreciate it. I didn't know if you guys were coming early to do file cleanup or if we just said no because of all the furniture and
Yeah, I came in at like 5.
Yeah,
do we still
got
have
another half a drawer done, it looks like.
Yeah.
half a drawer still to go?
Yeah. Do we keep? Crap, my brain just
Well,
close.
No,
Yeah,
no, we
let's-
don't keep
we'll
it.
talk.
I can't think of what it's called, it was our appeals board, do we keep stuff on that?
I do believe you have to keep appeals board.
Okay,
Yeah.
cause I got a stack of appeals board stuff.
Yeah, we'll keep that then.
Yeah, the one time that the appeals board met in my lifetime that I remember, it it was never their final finding with all the rationale.
It was from the seventies, Lynn said.
No, there was one.
No,
There was one more
What she
recent.
had.
it was from 96 still.
Oh, okay, there were some nineties.
There's actually one from the 2000s, but I don't know where the documentation is of the final finding. They're supposed to have all the rationale behind it and all that kind of stuff. I don't know what ever happened there. I know they voted in the meeting to not grant the appeal. But there's supposed to be a closing document that says why they voted the way they did, blah, blah, blah. That's like the legal summary of that. I've never seen that. I don't know if that exists. I don't know, but if you find it, it'd be good to know. I'm wondering also if we're gonna keep this meeting focused on comp plan, because that's really up in front of us for the next couple months. If you have a working session on solar and cemetery, do we want to have a working session on the housing impact, just dive into those like in great detail? I don't know if that's the best use of this particular forum to wordsmith off 3 of those ordinances for compliance, or if we do some pre-work and
okay.
bring it here, or if we do it as a separate session. Don't know. I'm asking for direction and thoughts.
Yeah, that's gonna take a little bit of time.
Right, so
We
everybody.
have a deadline on those, don't we?
Well, July of next year. I
Yeah.
mean, those also have to go to town meeting, so they
Yeah.
have to be done by first quarter so that they can go to public hearing, legal review, and
Yeah.
the state wants to review them. So they've all got to be done by like January as well. And everybody last,
I would have. Yeah, we should have a working session for those as well,
yep, okay.
don't you think?
Yeah,
Daniel?
yeah,
I
absolutely.
think that's
'Cause
better.
That's a lot of stuff to go through. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get it done in an hour. It's not
Well,
gonna
even if we
happen.
sat here for 3 hours, it's just a lot of, I really hate group words. And
Yeah,
it's just, then you're arguing.
I don't mind, I think we should work on those together and maybe just divvy up the documents.
Mhm.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, so this we're also gonna set up a working session for.
Now, where you have a grant for those, is that something you're gonna go through the legal or that, Todd?
The state planning office reviews those.
Okay, so you're gonna have all that.
Well, Robin and Dawn attended an AvCog workshop already,
Yeah,
where they gave us direction on how to apply this legislation to the ordinances. So we've got AvCog's input
yeah,
and direction and advice. So they don't review the ordinances when they're done.
did they review a current ordinance on that, or?
No, they don't really do
Mhm.
ordinance review. Now, MMA will do some of that. I said in last week, I went to a MMA lunch and learn on Wednesday, that was all about ordinances.
Yeah,
It's pretty interesting. As soon, they said it'd be about a week before the slides are made available, but when they are, I'll give everybody a copy of those.
oh, great,
Because it was some nice
great,
inputs. They are more about the process than the content.
right,
So if you have a question about process, that MMA will help us with that. But under the MOCA planning grant, any rewrite to these ordinances, they want to review them. So the main office of community assistance will take a look at that.
Yeah,
So it'll give us feedback before it goes to legal
yeah,
as well. I'm sure they're gonna be inundated also, so we may want to pick a date in September between all the other 42 things we're doing to get that done.
so the specific rationale for going after those 2 ordinances, is it state changes, or?
The state shifted legislation. Those are 3 ordinances: cluster housing, housing minimum lot size, subdivision ordinances.
Yeah,
We just want to make sure that they're compliant, and if they're not compliant, that we recommend changes that now make us compliant with the state laws.
does that affect shoreline zoning at all, or?
we
I don't-
talked about that last
Yeah, we
meeting,
looked at that last
I don't-
meeting. Shoreline
I
zoning
did it.
has its own-
It's its own, yeah.
But that has minimum lot sizes and stuff in it, so.
That's more restrictive, I believe, than what the state's offering.
Yeah.
But we can certainly take a look at that.
as I recall.
most of them said except shoreline.
except shoreline zoning was
Yeah,
their
every one of them
PowerPoint
pretty much
document.
said except shoreline.
Oh,
Right,
okay.
well, that's
Yeah.
right, because you don't want to allow any additional structures.
Right.
On shoreline.
Right.
They want to encourage additional structures everywhere else because of the
Yeah.
housing problem,
Except
but
shoreline.
not in shoreline zoning.
Yeah. Yeah,
It seems like there was something else, shoreline and something else, but yeah, that's in there.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was farmland or tree growth or something like
Yes,
that.
it was
Something
something-
agricultural.
Yeah,
was impacted as
yeah.
well. They're like, except that.
Except these two things, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's,
I know there was some feedback at the select board meeting about going after those ordinances. That's just kind of why I was questioning why we're directing at those ones. So,
Mhm.
Those all have housing things in them,
Yeah.
that's why. Well, and I went back and listened, I started listening to last week's meeting because of the comment from the select board that they did not give us direction to update cluster housing. And I took the transcripts from that meeting, and I did not see anywhere in there that it was said, the select board directly asked us to update its ordinances, so I'm not quite sure what the problem was, but it doesn't matter, it's off the table.
Moving on.
Um. So Josh is gonna double check the feedback, and I can go back and look at last week's meeting for that too. Status of access to the town digital storage drive. I did send a note to Kathy asking for information on how we get that, and then how we can migrate our files over to that, and I've not heard back yet on that.
Did she direct that to Aaron, do you?
I have no idea, she said, I'll talk to Erin about it and get back to you. Or at some point we can do that. So we're down to a half a drawer still to go in the files, yay. Why don't we set a working session for perhaps the first of those housing ordinances? Just because calendars are so tough to come by. I know I'm traveling a little bit, next month.
So you want to do them one at a time, is that what you said?
I think it'll take that long. It may take like a good,
Okay,
to give it a really good review.
I'm pretty free. Now that, yeah,
Do we want to do one on September 9th? Well, that's gonna be right before our comp plan. Our first comp plan session, right?
we had identified 2 working sessions in this meeting, one for comp plan, right? And one for this.
Well, we had, oh, I see what you're saying. So, and on my September calendar, I have September 13th. Sunday, September 13th as a possible comp plan.
Let me get that,
I probably should have put that in notes.
because I haven't put those in my calendar, because we don't know which day it's gonna be.
Right, I brought them all off as possibles,
I got the 13th.
and the 27th, right?
Where did I put it?
Sunday, September 13th.
Yeah,
Sundays,
the
September
13th or the 16th.
Okay,
Were those for the charrette?
yes,
Yeah, that's first session 1.
and one was the 27th and one was the 30th, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So. Why don't we hold a work session on the 9th? And that could be either, let's do one ordinance and finalize the process plan for the charrettes. Anything you don't do tonight?
Does that work for you, Jamie?
Say that again.
It's
Wednesday, then,
Wednesday, the
September
9th.
9th.
Uh-huh,
whatever time, we could do it 6 to 8 if we needed to. Or we could do it earlier, whatever works for your schedule.
6 to 8 probably better.
So finalized comp plan for charrette number 1.
Now,
We're gonna try to do charrette 1 and 2, working session 1 and 2, because that's also in September.
Yep.
so on the 9th, was that for the charrettes?
Well, let's see if we can get the process plans for the charrettes. We're gonna talk about those tonight. So if we have any fine tuning, we can do it that night,
Okay,
but we'll try to go through one ordinance for housing.
for the housing,
Yeah.
okay.
Do you want to do that here?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll check in the office that it will be go to meeting room availability.
Mhm.
What time?
If they can't, we can do it at my house.
Okay. 6 to 8. Which housing, ordinances are you going through, if we can get to them?
Well, let's do one. So we're either going cluster housing, housing and minimum lot size, or subdivision. Okay.
Let's do the housing minimum lot.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
start with that one. So the 9th from 6 to 8, that's what I heard, right?
Yeah,
Yep. Cool.
so we're gonna try and finalize the, first charrette and do the housing minimum lot size on that night.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
yeah, we're gonna talk about the first charrette, I think,
Okay.
today
Uh-huh.
as well.
Okay.
So we should be just fine tuning.
Mhm.
And I guess we have to decide how long are we gonna wait for people to answer the call of the postcard before we say, hey, we need to know your answer by this date. Now I can put that on social media and offer to give them
Well, technically, those polls stay open until the date of the 1st. So like
Right, but
poll
we have to
number
dec-
1 will be open until the 13th. But I don't think.
right, but we have to decide the
wait.
date before
Yeah,
then, tell them which date.
how about, well, Labor Day is the weekend of the 4th, right?
Yeah,
So how about the 8th? Is that enough time
Yeah,
in advance?
well, it gives us 5 days, so, yeah, people said they could make it on the 13th. Okay,
If, I mean, if that ends up being the date.
poll closes.
do we know any of the results of any of the dates that it?
We just want to do the first one, right? Or do we want to do all of them?
I think you'll need to know probably the first two,
Okay,
because
that's a good
they're only a
idea.
couple weeks apart.
So the poll for the first two by September 8th.
Josh, can you encourage the select board to actually answer that request for dates on the charrettes, these public meetings for the comprehensive plan?
Yeah,
We gave people 4 meetings, 2 options for each meeting.
yeah,
I don't think any select board members actually answered that yet. I looked at it earlier today.
I see what you guys were sharing with the town, this stuff, but, I haven't gone on with anything. I'm sure.
Did you
that
see your postcard in your mail today?
I have not checked my mail.
Check your mail.
I pretty much got out of the shower, came here.
Yeah, no, I don't.
I didn't see any. And it's important to have,
A little encouraging, because it is important for
You can't see the dates they showed.
Yeah, no, I don't see any select board members have.
so you can see who chose.
yeah, you can see the names, so who picked what dates. So what I'll do is put on social media the Tuesday, September 8th.
For session 1 and session 2, land use and housing.
Yep. Okay. I was wondering, for people who don't have smartphones, and I don't know who that is, but I know we have some people in town that are not smartphone users, do we want to just make a paper? One
The
page,
website's also on there though.
If they don't,
right, but you still had to get to a link. You gotta use your computer
Yeah,
to get to a link to do it. Like,
Yeah.
check those links, they all work fine. I used those,
Yeah.
I used those to check today. But if you're not on a computer, which we do have some people in town who aren't,
right,
like give a ballot option.
yeah, yeah. I just wonder if we do that and make sure it's promoted in the front office.
Yeah.
That would be great.
How are they gonna know that?
That is a great question.
How are they gonna know that if they don't have a smartphone? We didn't put it on the postcard.
Should have been on the
they're not
postcard.
just randomly.
Well, it says stop in the town office, but I don't know that we've given the town office the just paper ballot option. It's gonna, so you don't have a
Okay.
smartphone. That's all. I'm just trying to think of some of our older people who don't. Even though
No, it's a great idea.
my
I
mother-in-law
just,
was 90, she knew how to use the internet to get stuff done,
yeah,
but
okay. Put it on the sign.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I give her a short message like. Stop in and vote for your choice of public meeting dates.
We said we didn't want to vote. We used the
Okay.
word vote.
Right, voice your opinion.
Let us know when you're available for public meeting dates. I don't know.
All right. So I started a few hours ago going back through the first 4 chapters that we want to use at the first charrette. And I
Are
have,
those on your laptop?
no, I was doing them on the,
Okay.
but I made some changes.
Okay.
I made some blanks that still need to get filled in. And I only started with agriculture and forest. I will get through the rest of them this weekend.
We're gonna go through the first 4, right?
Yeah, do you want to, we can put those up on the screen.
Let me log into the Zoom maybe, and I can share.
Yeah, if you want to share on Zoom.
Let me see if I can do that. Oh, please.
Or I can plug the HDMI drive into the computer here and we can put them up through this computer. We have to turn on that one.
I think I'm almost there. No, this is not. Oh, here it is. Just can find the link. Where do I find the link?
You looking for the Zoom link?
Mm-hmm.
If you do that, it'll show up on this laptop here, but, and your laptop, but nobody else can see it.
Oh, because it won't view on here. Okay, well, we can huddle.
It might, but. Yep. I don't see you in, yeah.
I'm still trying to find a link. I don't know where to find the link.
Or the Canton, the township's Facebook page.
Yeah, let me try that. That's weird.
So while you're doing that, I do want to update, I did get a copy of the sewer map this week. I was so excited. And FedEx office will, copy that onto transparency. However, the only, in Auburn right now, the only site they have is 8.5 by 11. Portland can do a bigger one. And she said, if you can bring me the, like, 10 by 14, physical transparency, she can do it, but she doesn't have the sheet.
No,
So do it. I can invite you, should I just invite you?
Yes, please.
Which email should I use?
Either one. About the town one. Supposed to use the town one.
Oh, I've got to email it. I can't actually email from this. I'm so sorry. You're not in a pre-approved list. Let's see if I can just get there from here. Yeah.
Thank you.
I think I did it. Let's see.
So I am in Google Drive right now, up on the screen. So I went to the agriculture and forest resources chapter. It's bigger. Well,
Can you let me in?
feel free to share.
No, I got it. Close the. There we go. Stop me from.
I don't know that our Canton has access to this.
Okay.
You want to share? No, it's back over here. We're down to page 67, which is the agriculture and forest services.
You wanna sit on that side? Can you sit okay?
Yeah, I can't do that. I don't think it would help being over there either.
So the only thing that I thought was missing from these are the inventory chapters, right? These have to have data in them, and we have a lot of words and not a lot of data. So I started making spots to put the data in.
What kind of data should we get?
For example, on the third slide down, which is now slide 69. I think we need to look at the percent of Canton's acreage that's considered agricultural, right? And I can do that by looking at those town lot maps. And looking at the acreage that goes into those lots, add them up and say, okay, 12% of Canton's acreage is either under cultivation or rotational cultivation or grazing. So I think that's a pretty easy thing to do. I think percentage of Canton's tax revenue comes from agricultural operations. Good to know. I'm not sure yet what else, because I did go to the state.
Does the spreadsheet say?
Well, I went to the state's comprehensive plan data portal and mapping services, and it says for agriculture, we need to have a web soil survey, which is done by the USDA Natural Resource Conservation Services, and it should be available online. Now, I've been playing with their online data set to get to our county and our town, and I haven't got there yet. So I think we can get there. This municipal evaluation return statistical summary, that I believe that's also online from Maine Revenue Services. So that's, I think we'll see if I can find that tax data. And there's a summary of timber harvest information by town that is available from the Maine Forest Services, but you have to contact the Maine Planning and Portal people to get it. It's not online. So those three things are required as part of the comp plan. And they need to go in this section. This is a minimum required data for chapter 1 rule. So those three things have to go into this section. So I will get those for that first chapter. So I did the same thing for spreading out forestry. Right, we should know, I mean, it'd be nice to know what percentage of the town's total acreage is in forest, whether it's tree growth, perpetual non-development like land trusts, or whether it's the town's forests that we are choosing to just harvest and not develop.
I'm listening and reading though.
Okay. And so those are just 3 bullet points. I don't think it's that hard to get them, but I can play around with getting those pieces of data. You're in the requirements for the.
Yep.
Right, so what other actual data oriented
That's what I
agriculture?
was trying to,
Yeah,
because you covered.
I wondered if we wanted to, so we can look at that. If you go down to slide 72, as active farms in Canton. I think I put a note there to add the acreage, I think under each of those, it's a relative thing, and it's tricky because sometimes like Crane Brothers doesn't own all the land that it put potatoes on, it leases that land from somebody else. Same thing, I think with Conant Acres, they don't necessarily own all the fields that they harvest hay from, they just.
Mm.
And I know Rocky Ridge harvests hay from a friend of ours who has a huge front yard. But they don't really own it, they just lease it, so we have to figure out how we're gonna.
Yeah, but it's still used for agriculture, no matter who owns it.
Right. I do also believe that, we should have a second page, maybe call this page on page 72, active large farms in Canton, and maybe another page that says active. Smaller farm in Canton, because I feel like some people would be very hurt if their farm wasn't listed here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
How do we go about gathering all of those?
well, we had a farm tour last fall. So there's a listing of those farms.
Is there?
Yeah, now people should be getting commercial ordinances for those smaller farms, and I don't believe they are. I know Freedom Hill Farm and Steeple Hill Road got a commercial ordinance.
Okay,
I don't know that any of the other ones have. But. So I'm gonna say, I think we take slide 72 as the, pasting it in here is slide 73.
okay.
I'm just gonna make it active larger farms, and then we'll make it smaller farms.
Yeah, I think that little farm stand.
Fun watching people type, isn't it?
I know. And maybe they're boutique farms, or we find another way of categorizing them.
Self-employed farms.
Well, you called them something else in this chapter earlier. And maybe this page is probably gonna get reformatted, but. I'm just gonna leave these as blanks right now.
Well, the front page, did you add a farm to the front page, Ferris Farm?
Yes,
Okay, we probably should update that slide then, because it only has 3 of the 4.
well, I was wondering.
Or is that what you're saying is a?
Yeah, I think we
boutique
could
farm?
potentially take it off that particular one, but, you have it included in. And I don't know if that's the official name of it. But maybe just keep it as 3 active larger farms.
When you Google, that's what you find. If you Google, show me top farms in Canton, it's those 3 that come up.
Yeah. Well, in our contact at, Maine Farmland Trust was let go a few weeks ago. She sent me a note. How she'll no longer be our contact. We were downsizing. Maybe we'll just add another bullet on that page that says numerous boutique farms.
Yeah,
And that's, because I thought the narratives were all good here. They just were,
not inclusive enough.
I don't think so. I think people would be.
Do we want to take those 3 blocks out? And just say something broader or list the types of farms? There's people who farm honey and or have bees and.
Well, so I copy that page over and made,
Yeah.
smaller farms were to contribute, to keep land productive, right? So we can. And I would just change that formatting on the smaller farms, active smaller farms, and just maybe just list them. But. I think people feel really strongly about seeing themselves.
Where do I get the list? Where do we get the list?
Let me look, there was a event on Facebook that had a farm tour and it listed all
It
the.
listed all of them?
Yeah. Yeah, that was
Okay.
in earlier in the summer, spring.
Okay,
Yeah, it was just a couple weeks ago, It was like so now, this is a whole weeks ago.
There's some people that do just maple syrup.
Right,
Yeah.
right, that's what I mean, like,
So that's why boutique, I think maybe boutique farms are.
okay, yeah, boutique sounds bougie. And fun.
Yeah, I did throw those pictures in there just because. You know, me, I love the boutique stuff. It's nice. Um, So forestry, I think we can get from the annual town report or a number of town reports to look at how much revenue the towns had in the last like 3 to 5 years, right? We could look at our trended revenue from our forest lands because we harvest every year. Or every so often.
Just start copying. Different town report, okay.
So I'm gonna add under
Forestry revenue.
and if I think we maybe used the same forester for quite a few years too. I just think that's always good to put in there because it just
Okay.
lets people know what's going on. So I put forestry data right after agricultural data as part of the introduction. We did introduce the two topics. We talked
Yeah.
about that. We talked about that. It could split out of just like it's.
So add a slide in after slide 77 here. About revenue. Or add something
I put
here.
that in on slide 70. Which is forestry data, which talks about, percent of the towns, I didn't put the numbers that I can say.
Okay, but there's a forestry section lower, Diane.
Right. I just wasn't sure that slide 70 sits to the front or goes down by the other section. I don't know if it matters. But
I think we should put it down here in this section,
okay,
closer to 75, 76, 77.
yep.
Like in here
I
somewhere.
thought the narrative here was great because it did set the stage in a really
Yeah.
nice way for why, forestry is important. But if we could we can slide that slide down, but if it says, 25% of Canton's acreage is all in forest lands, like that's good to know.
Yeah,
And I did go to one of these maps and I was having trouble. USDA, Natural Resource Conservation, Department of Agriculture has this soil survey that we're supposed to have here that's required as part of the state requirements for the comp plan. I couldn't get to it, but I will try to get to it again. You can
here, I
also
put it here. Does that make sense? Forestry in Canton, forestry data. Okay,
Perfect. So those are the three things I think we need: the web soil survey, the municipal evaluation return, which they say is online, and then the summary of timber harvest information, which we can get.
soil survey. Say that again.
Web soil survey, municipal evaluation return, statistical summary, and the summary of timber harvest information.
And you know where to get these? The
Yeah,
web
there's
soil
links.
survey and the municipal.
Yeah, there's links here, and what I can do is,
Okay,
if I can't get to it all, there's numbers.
was that on the MMA?
No, this was on the, I started out Maine Farmland Trust, which did not really have what I wanted.
The comp plan assistance site?
Yeah, oh,
The
Maine
government
planning-
site?
The main planning.
Yeah,
portal.
okay, yeah, I have that link.
I started that
All right.
portal. The one they call MPAP.
Yeah,
Yeah, Maine Comprehensive Plan Data Portal and Mapping Services.
okay,
So I just looked at, I just pulled up the municipal statistical data stuff for 2024, which is the latest they've got. I'm just looking if I can find the right county. Oh, that's good. It's good county. I'm gonna find out. Hmm. It tells me the whole Oxford County, summer, some days. Put in the Oxford. C, D, E, F. Canton. Canton, oh, we don't have some of the data, but we have. We don't keep taxable machinery and equipment, taxable and other taxable personal property. I don't know if this is just for farms. Or, I don't know if this is farms or if this is total valuation of the town, so we'll have to look at this chart and see what it tells us. It might be just the farm, because it's telling us $2 million, and I'm sure the whole town is valued at much more than that.
I assume so.
And I know Conant Acres makes their money from selling cow semen. It's not the haying, it's not the
Mhm.
corn they sell, it's really the cows. So somewhere in there, I made a note about how her dairy herd propagation is really the foundation of their business. But you know who you talk to is, the woman who's also our school board representative, I can see her face. She's does a lot of the bookkeeping for that end of the business, so she would be able to maybe tell us if these numbers are true.
Okay.
If you can track it.
Do we need any maps? For the, because that's one of the things I'm gonna try to work on. Do we have a base map of Canton that's just smaller?
We do.
Okay.
It doesn't have individual lots.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's on the front page of the O'Donnell tax
Okay.
maps.
Okay,
They have one there.
so from an agriculture or forestry perspective, is there any maps that we want? Within this document?
I mean, I think it'd be great to be able to take that bigger map of the whole town and highlight,
These are.
this is all,
forest.
light green are agriculture, dark green are forest, so these, this is areas that either can't or shouldn't, or we're choosing not to develop, whatever.
Okay.
Now, the sewer maps I got, which were nice and visible, they are 1 inch was 500 feet, I believe, was a scale.
Mhm.
So I thought I'd call down and say, hey, can you print me out all of your maps on 1 inches, 500 feet, so we can get them all on the same scale at least?
Yeah,
And then maybe there's a way to
shrink them.
condense those down, because the sewer maps are obviously right here in downtown, because that's where the sewer is. So I thought even if we just got a little bit bigger than that to show, like down to the here in the other end, to say, here's the main areas. That certainly could give us some areas for development. Because somebody said to me, Canton has no possible growth areas. Like, that is not true. It's not true at all.
Who said that?
As a man,
My lips are
snowy.
So USDA also has a census of agriculture website that I just started going to, and I looked up and went, oh, it's 10 minutes to 6. Um,
Is this one in our first? We
Yeah.
have our, okay, yeah,
yeah, because I printed out your list of, these are the
Yeah.
first, I'm going right down, working my way right down that.
yeah,
list.
yeah, okay, so ag and forestry, what else was in that list?
Natural resources. Public facilities.
Okay, so same question on those two.
Let me go to natural resources. Which I did love having your links in the table of contents right to the sides.
That's
Brilliant.
nice, isn't it?
Brilliant.
I do
So
love
good.
links. Okay, here we are, natural resources. So something that shows these,
Yep. Now we can. We can take that overall map of the town and put circles. Just, clear circles along, whatever, to
Yeah.
highlight where these areas are. But here you've got some data on that key findings page, right, which is very hard to read from here, but
oh, this page.
right, it just talks about 18% of Canton's land area, floodplains cover 18% of Canton's land area, so, right, so there's some factual data here that's super important. We do have that right up front. I love the conservation through use model. And yeah. You got underwater resources, you got data on all those water places, that's all perfect.
Yeah.
So good, yeah, look, data. Now all this wildlife habitat, this is all the stuff that was in that prior natural resources document, right? That had. Yep, I think this is all there. So it's got the natural plants, the wild plants.
Yes. Mhm.
So good, so good. Thank you, thank you.
I'm asking, so I'm gonna ask to get some photographs. For
So
these first four.
there were some in that original document that we
Yeah.
didn't use.
Yeah,
So it's been cut and pasted.
so yeah, I'm gonna ask for, I'm gonna start working on that part. For the first two sessions, so we can get some of these green spaces filled in with pretty pictures of Canton.
So I'm looking at places where there's like some wrapping. That doesn't need to be, right? If we just expand the box a little bit, it doesn't have to wrap, so it just reads a little smoother, like on page 65. I just made all those one line, those titles. Some of those were wrapped around.
Yeah, okay.
So just that, to me, that's just little dinky stuff, but it. And that leads right into agricultural and forest areas. I did put in a cow, a forest, and some potatoes. Which. I think we want to make sure that we also, in the natural resources section, that we make sure we have a reference to you got consulting habitat maps for all development. Okay, I don't know that we have to do much more with that one.
Yay,
We can add some pretty pictures.
add pretty pictures on it. I got
The
somebody,
Lake Association.
I got a guy.
The Lake Association has some nice ones too on their website.
Yeah,
So the other chapter we want to look at, public facilities and service. Slide 99.
99. I don't have to go back up to the top.
So regarding the sewer system, which is on there, when I went to get the drawing, spent some time with Josh. And had a great, I got a tour. Years ago, I sized sludge presses for a pulp mill. So I'm like, let's talk sludge. It makes me so happy. I said, how many more users do you think we can put on the sewer with the existing capacity? And he said 100. Like, that's it. You can't put more than 100 more users. And I don't know if that means households or individual people contributing human waste. I'm assuming that means households.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm assuming it means household.
Okay. But when we look at our people growth numbers, some of that growth, I mean, if you want to centered growth on, in the area that's gonna be accessible or an easy extension of facilities. We have to be just a little cautious about how that's happening, right? So, I mean, apartments that are only one or two people, you could probably swing that a little bit, versus a household of four people or whatever.
Yeah,
But. Volunteer fire department is at risk. Can't Morgan Street needs more subscribers, sewer system underutilized with aging infrastructure. Needing a near-term review. Yeah, space, heavy department needs net floor replacement, new plow truck. She needs upgrades. So some of those transfer station upgrades have already happened.
Mhm.
Compactor, the concrete, that went on the bathroom, I don't know about the concrete pad, but I think we just want to be a bit cautious about. Who's in there?
but are you sure?
Um,
I don't think a concrete pad was added.
oh, underneath the metal pile.
Yeah.
That's where they needed it. Okay.
It's not.
I'd have to ask Robin.
I heard Robin say it was being done, I think, even while the budget committee was doing their thing. They were working on it.
I don't know, the kid that lives with us, I had him take something to the metal pile yesterday, but I even say, check out if there's a pad there.
We're sending these first 4 sections to the select board, right?
I say certainly by our next meeting. I'll take the latest. So I want to get some of those numbers in there. So I don't know if some of these trucks have been replaced in the last.
I couldn't get answers from people, so that's what I mean, it's gonna have to go.
Okay, I mean, we can take this, I can take this page over to Andy Tonit, or we can ask our liaison.
Yeah.
to do it.
One of the plow trucks did,
The what?
one of the plow trucks did,
Right, and just update.
yeah, because
Yeah.
it needed to,
Yeah, cause the other one was crashed.
yep.
This one,
And fire protection, I do like the way that's all laid out too.
yeah, it's the best data I could get. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, let me talk to Sean Goodrow, see if we can get a little bit more about. Water district, and maybe the same kind of map that we now have for the sewer, which shows exactly where it runs. Which is very simple, that the picture of it.
What are you looking for? It's right behind you.
This looks like old, is this? This looks pretty old, 2020.
So just FYI, here's the map of the sewer system, which we have in a bigger sheet now. Which one are you looking at?
106.
You're welcome to. A little closer, I don't know if you can read that or not.
Review.
Yep, we should get updated, so let's make a note to update 2026.
Hold on, I accidentally added one.
So slide 106.
So without upgrading, he can only add another 100 households on this system.
Right.
That's gonna become an issue.
Well, yeah, I mean, it may take 10 years, but it's the kind of thing that if we start, as you. Planning for growth, at some point you have to say, do we need a
A
different,
little easier.
do we need a
Yeah.
different sewer system?
Did you want to check that out? Map of the sewer system. Yeah, yeah. Cause there's more room for more than 100 people on that, in that area. That's gonna, overwhelm the sewer system.
Well, I mean, 100 households is a lot. I don't know that you have to put that many in
You don't have to, but I'm just saying.
there. Right,
There's more room than 100 on there, so we're gonna have an issue.
right. at some point, as you're upgrading, right now it's the settling pools. that they have. It's only so much capacity in
Yep.
those, so if you need to completely change the technology, if you're gonna be expecting more.
To
growth.
keep up, yeah, exactly.
Now, people said, wow, we're adding another 100 households, that's,
In 10 years, that's not a lot. It's not a lot at all.
well, we've been, people wise, we've added several hundred people in the
If
last.
you wanna check that out.
5 years.
The existing suggestions, don't.
I just told us what we got.
Oh,
I did ask Josh if he had any of those, yeah,
I
Josh
can
had,
zoom it bigger if you need.
Josh had a whole set of paper documents, to scan those at Kinko's is like $250 to scan them and digitize them. Now DEP should have the original set, the same set he's got, and it also had the name on the document of who the original engineer was. They should have a set, so hopefully we can get a digital set from them for free.
So,
That was condensed down because the lady said to me, I can only copy a 10x14, so I folded it down to 10x14 to fit on her thing, and then she's like, oh, wait a minute, I should only do it now.
site sewer and water. Is there any other map we need for public?
Well, I mean, we've got like the town, fire protection, we've got highway departments, like those are the, and I guess we could maybe add a piece in there about, like we pay a huge amount of money every year for ambulance services in our town budget.
I think I just talk about it at the end.
Hopefully have some visual off the page.
Do we want to put in this section something, at the
Yeah.
there's the very last page here, want to talk about within Canton's budget, the last 3 years, I don't know if you're going to go back and further than that, right? Here's how much we paid for highway maintenance, service personnel, fire department, I mean, any kind of budgeting items. Go in there. And there was at one point, like the fire department reports every year how many calls they went on. Which is important. And we know how many miles of roads the highway department maintains.
Well, more than we got.
What?
Well, more than we know.
Right. Well, we have that in the transportation section too, but
Oh, yeah, that belongs in trans.
right, but it might, but the cost to maintain.
Okay, yeah, no, the budget
The
part.
cost of
Yeah,
public
yeah, yeah.
services, I think we could add a slide on the cost of public services on there. And the last one is 16 land use, which.
That was down towards the bottom.
Yeah, slide 154. Oops.
This is a good looking document if I don't say so myself.
It is a nice looking document.
I'm glad we're down to fine tuning.
So this has got on slide 156, you have that roughly 70% is working farmland and forest.
Yeah.
So that's 70, 80, 15% is low density residential. Huh.
This feels right, doesn't it?
Yeah, where do those numbers come from?
I don't remember. We'll have to go back to the source documents,
Yeah,
the source Word documents. Cause that's how all this got generated. It just got printed out, you know?
Cool, so that could be.
So that, now we
It could
know the
be-
answer to the other question.
Yeah.
I don't gotta look it up, I'll just go look over
I
there.
had no trouble repeating, because I think reinforcing.
Yeah,
is
yeah,
very
agreed.
good for people here. Uh, Yeah,
Are we on the same page? We're looking at 157, what are you looking at, Diane?
159.
You're ahead of me.
Thinking about order. I don't know if we wanted, like, if I'm reading this, do I want to?
It's the,
We want to lead people down a story, right? By giving them a certain piece of data, and then you give them a little more data, a little more data, and they get to this natural conclusion at the end, right? Or I don't know, I just want to think about what's the best way to help people internalize all this information. So some of this, like 159, I would maybe add some data in there. Like, we know how much seasonal housing we've got, and we know like the valuation of those houses that are seasonal and how much, because they're a significant portion of our tax base. I know in the past, we've had some people who've been very dismissive of people who are not year-round residents. And there was a bit of a us and them with people who had waterfront property, for example, that weren't here all year round. And I feel like if we understood the contribution to the total economy of the town, we may stop rolling the.
okay, so seasonal housing data.
Did we have a housing chapter? It was just under the population demographics. I thought we had a housing chapter, which should be on the next one. I'll be back. We'll take a look at this. We do have a housing chapter. I would put that under session 2 as well.
That is under session 2, isn't it?
No, I just had population demographics and transportation.
Okay. Yes, please.
So how many chapters do we have? I have 16.
We must have missed that in our working session, because I thought we had divvied all of these out to the different working sessions. It didn't land in a different one, did it?
Nope, we're missing one more. Population demographics, check. Housing, check. Economic development, check. Natural resources, check. Agriculture and forests, check. Public facilities and services, check. Fiscal capacity, check. Recreation, check. Information. Oh, history and archaeology.
That should be in session 3.
I agree.
We were gonna get speakers
I guess I'm.
for that.
So,
I got a beat. I can bring.
so public input and evaluation is really more of a documentation of.
Yeah, that's not a chapter. Yeah.
So, okay, so, okay, so it's good.
So, yeah, I thought we should think about that too, what speakers we're gonna ask. Come and talk a little bit. I think the club presidents and somebody from the Historic Society, maybe somebody from LA. Because session 3 was community dream, and then we wanted to talk about those chapters, and we thought it would be a good idea to augment the chapters with
I think if you're gonna get someone from Historical Society, we have to be pretty careful to give them a really straightforward arc.
Yes,
Says, hey, we've always been agricultural, like we started with a sawmill, right?
right,
Is how the town originally got started. Yeah, and then it grew along this way. At one point, we had a lot of tourism. We had hotels, an opera house, and a fairgrounds. We had all this stuff that then faded away. And we're at the spot now we need to kind of rebuild. I just feel like if you can give that kind of an arc, with some interesting pictures, but you want to lead people to the story of we need to start planning for growth rather than spending a huge amount of time talking about what we used to have.
right.
Yeah,
Let me talk to a couple of people from Historical Society and see who might be willing to do that and could follow the plan.
Yeah,
I know Rob Marshall has a ton of pictures and it's pretty good.
I think we're good. We're good with historical chapter pictures.
Right.
If we jump to that section, we're all good.
Just like-
We don't need any more.
Just like a picture of the fairgrounds or a picture of the opera house, or
Yeah.
the hotels that people go.
That'd be
I've heard people
cool.
say to me, we never had hotels here. I'm like, we had 3 hotels in town. You know what I mean? And right now we have none.
Yeah,
Out of town, this.
I don't know how, I mean, how did we lose it all? Why did it all have to disappear?
Well,
things
because
closed and,
people began migrating out of state. When the mills started shutting down,
yeah, those,
and
bad things closed.
the more highways came, people, it's a 3-hour drive to Boston. There's no big deal to like go to big city. You know what I mean? And jobs left the area. Too, but
Okay. 1, 2, 3. What was the last one in session 1?
existing land use, public facilities, natural resources.
Okay, it was
agriculture.
existing land use, so we just talked about that one.
Yep. So let's look at the calendar. Do we want to try to meet, say, Monday or Tuesday of next week? And make sure you can get these 4 chapters to the point where we'd like to share them with the select board. Now, it will be on next week's select board agenda because they have to have those by tonight, and they're not gonna get them tonight. However, they could have them in time for review on the 10th. And it's really not, we're not asking for,
I'm just, it's more of a heads up,
yeah,
get engaged.
Right.
It's the vision for the town for the next 10 years, so I'm assuming you're interested.
well, they've asked for them because they,
But they've had access to the
the drive, I know.
drive the whole time. Yeah. And send them a link again.
Well, they would like us to move all this over to the town drive at some point. So.
I thought that was the town drive. Weren't we given that drive?
No. Oh.
Okay,
Well, what happened was we kept pushing the town to put ordinances on the website.
yeah, it doesn't matter. I thought this was the town drive, so yeah, that's fine. Let's get a drive.
Yep.
As long as we all have author access.
We do.
I know we do right now. I'm
Oh.
talking about whenever they set up, we need to have author access.
Yeah.
Okay,
Send another note to Kathy and copy Aaron. I don't know who will
because
organize it.
that'll suck if we can't author our own documents. So when did you want to meet?
Maybe next week, Monday or Tuesday.
I'm fine, either day. And this is to finish these 4.
Yeah, how about Wednesday?
Wednesday's fine.
Is that the 26th?
It is.
Yes,
Yeah. And I'm making sure to call these inventory chapters because I just want to make sure these are couched in the idea that this is a look at kind of where we are today, a look at where we've been. It's kind of setting the stage for where we want to go. It's not proposing any specific actions going forward yet.
Meet here unless we can't. And then we can use my house. How's that? 5, 6, what time?
6 would be better for me.
6. How about 5? Because my brain doesn't work so good after 6 and you come at 6.
Okay.
Not that I don't want
I'll-
you there right at the beginning, but seriously, I
No,
start going a little brain dead later at night.
That's okay. I'll
And
get
if we're
there
up
as soon
with
as I
the reading,
can.
I need to have my brain working.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, so the 26th to fine tune these first, at least the first 4.
Yep.
And finish those. Okay. And then on the 9th, to start working on
I have the 8th.
the ordinances. And any last minute stuff we have to do for the charrettes.
The 8th was the deadline for the,
The 8th is the deadline for the polls.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
The 9th is a working session.
Yeah, okay, got it. I'll make sure
Okay.
Tom gets all these dates too.
And if you need help with anything, looking stuff up, I'm more free now, Diane. Now that I don't have family and
I know.
marching in and
I go
out.
for a year with no guests. Last summer, we had people like almost every week all summer.
I know, I'm just exhausted. I've been
Everybody-
doing this since April. I'm just so glad. Love everybody coming up and visiting, but I'm glad to have a break now. So if you need help pulling information or,
I'm gonna see if I can get that data and like double check what we need for those particular 4 chapters to meet
Yeah.
the state comp plan
yeah, okay,
check boxes.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna look at that and see what that looks like.
okay, I have time to start working on this more.
Okay, like I'm not gonna move any of these order in the table of contents because you've got them all linked and everything else, so I don't know.
Yeah.
If I need them moved, I'll ask you if I think it should be.
Yeah. It's pretty easy to do. But that's handy, isn't it? The jump tos. Okay, what else?
I think that's it for now.
I think we covered just about everything. Mhm.
Any comments, Josh?
No, it's fine.
Motion to adjourn, please.
Well, I just want to make sure, I'm sorry, one item under new business that was there, so sorry. We,
Oh, the grant management stuff.
yeah, so we're still waiting for. I don't know that we're going to get any additional paperwork. Everybody's like, we can't do anything through the paperwork. I'm like, they sent it out. They asked for us confirmation. We received the note and that we're committed to the deliverables, which I sent them that back on an email. And they said, you're gonna get the check in 4 weeks or whatever.
Yeah, 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, so I don't know that there's any additional authorization documents coming, but we'll find out.
Okay,
And I do have a phone number I can call and ask if there's
Okay.
any other technical stuff.
So with that being said, does that mean you already accepted the grant?
They just asked for confirmation that we understood the deliverables.
Yeah.
And that we knew that at the end of the grant, we have to provide an accounting. Which
Yeah.
is a normal grant management processes.
Yeah.
But there was no signature required, there was no formal accepting. So I don't know. I know they're trying to speed up the process, so it may be this is a slightly different process. Don't know. We'll find out when that paperwork comes in a week or 2. I will.
You said you already attached a copy of that letter to the meeting minutes?
Yes,
Okay.
Okay, where would the paperwork be going to, the town office?
yeah, it'll come to the town office. We'll just have to keep checking with Kathy, because sometimes, like, I know Maine Municipal and FCOG send stuff to the code enforcement officer all the time, and it's supposed to come to us as well, and we don't see it. So I've got asked to be put on that list now so that we're getting the emails directly from them. It doesn't come to the CEO and stop kind of thing, so. We will just double check. Also, before last week's meeting, 2 weeks ago, I put together a spreadsheet for tracking. And that's on the Town of Canton Google Drive as well. It's there. So we'll keep putting stuff in there as we need to. And I know we've used that reimbursement sheet many times. That's not a new thing. So when the grant comes in, we will submit the reimbursement and see what happens there.
I don't see it, where is it? In the same place?
Yeah, it's an Excel, like a Google sheet.
Is it in the comp plan folder, or which folder is it?
Yeah, there it is.
Local planning.
Draft
Okay,
tracking,
here we
yeah.
go. No,
So it put in the total balance, kind of documented the request, what it was used for, who the vendor was. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And so on the right-hand side is submitted to town for reimbursement. So once that form is filled out and submitted, we'll have a record of that as well.
okay,
And that's something that, as you and I talked about, Dan, we've done it. I don't think we've done it since you've been chairman.
No, probably
no,
not.
no,
Yeah.
it's the first time.
Yeah, but we've done that many times in the past, like we've. Whatever,
Yeah.
bought different things. Used to be, we paid for our own, out of our own budget, paper and ink for the printer.
Yeah.
And so every time we run out of ink, I just buy more ink, submit it to the town, and now they're like, oh, you don't have to pay for it and we'll take care of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, but we don't use that printer that much.
Right,
Anymore.
right.
So at some point I might be.
At that session on the 9th, can we talk about just, how things will go at the meeting? Refreshments, who's gonna be there early, just like
But let's talk
meeting
about that.
management,
Let's-
meeting management. Like, what are we, who's coming early to set up chairs, and what kind of tools do we need there? Are we gonna need flip charts, sticky notes,
Yes.
pens?
How about if I draft the process plan?
That would be great. That'd be
Yeah,
great.
I have a template. I'll just do that.
You probably already
I
have a
do.
meeting process plan that you use, so I don't wanna have to invent one. That's great. Let's use yours. And can we review it at the next working session
Yeah.
to see if we need to modify or
Yes,
and
because what you
start
want to
handing
do
out
is,
to do, so we're all kind of
yeah,
organized?
so we only have people for 2 hours, which is really a small amount.
That's okay.
I didn't
It's gonna
budget-
make all of the treats for everyone.
Fast. Did we ask them for 3 or 2? I can't remember.
It was 2 hours.
5 to 8. I think we might have asked them for 3.
Could be.
Hold on. September, possible comp plan, 2 to 5, yeah. Yeah, because really, it's very hard to get people in there, sit down, focus on doing a task,
Mhm.
coming to some kind of a consensus of a task in 2 hours.
Yeah.
You can do it, but you gotta be a slave driver, and 3 is sketchy, like, I run these sessions for 3 days at a time, not 3 hours.
Can you please, bring that stuff on the counter down to the town office really quick? We're almost adjourned, so yeah, could you bring that down?
Okay.
Thanks, bye. I have zucchini bread for all of you and I left it in my kitchen
Oh,
and I must get rid of it.
Oh,
I
okay.
started thinking about treats and I'm like, oh my God, I have treats for these people. And I didn't bring them.
I've been sending zucchini recipes to my best friend in Pennsylvania whose garden is overproducing.
I'm sorry, I just ate zucchini. So you're all getting chocolate chip banana zucchini bread today. So please don't leave until I give it to you.
So she sent me a picture of zucchini pancakes looking at it. I'm stopping at her house in Pennsylvania in a few weeks. I'm gonna be down there.
Sorry.
Well, they just put them in a waffle maker and made it into like a savory.
Okay.
Anyway.
Anything else we gotta do?
No.
So yeah, let's plan just like meeting planning and. Yeah. So we're effective and
I've been thinking about it,
I bet you have.
agitating in the back of my brain.
Okay. Let's just get on it because it'll be here before we know it.
All right,
Yep.
this is good. I'm picking up three 10-year-old girls at 8 o'clock. We're going at 5:30 in the morning to see the hot air balloons in Lewiston. Anybody want to come?
Oh,
No,
Oh, the Bloom Festival thing,
I try to stay away from Lewiston.
me too.
I move we adjourn.
Second, all in favor?
I'm gonna put Lynn as the second.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's fine.
7:35.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
okay.